You ever hear of a car dealer carjacking a customer?
I can't say that I have.
How does that happen? That's actually, this works out perfectly in Morons in the News. This is a Florida story, of course. A federal judge just handed down an 8-year prison sentence to a former car dealer convicted of carjacking a customer near the Miami International Airport because they missed a single car payment.
Oh. So it was like a botched repo job or something?
Well, I've heard of like some of those buy here, pay here car dealerships where you buy the car and you got to make your payment to the dealer every month. I've heard that, some of these dealerships, they use a device that if you don't make your payment, they disable your car.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, do we have anyone with that device? As I talk about this, just out of curiosity, anybody listening, do you have that device, or have you ever had that device where you bought from one of those buy here, pay here places?
And they shut it right off.
Yeah.
You can't start the car.
I want to say there's like an electronic device, and they have access to it via what?
Some
cellular?
Some remote system.
Some remote data accessibility. Yeah. Anyone listening ever had one of those cars from one of those, janky lots where, they could shut your car off if you miss a payment? Just out of curiosity. All right. 800-990-1047. Just out of curiosity. Anybody with this device, and I'll finish up this story. But Andrew, grab some phones if anyone calls in. 800-990-1047. If you ever had one of those cars from, one of those independent used car lots where you got to make your payments to the car lot every month.
Yeah, this dealer's from a place in Miramar called Guru Auto Sales.
Yeah.
Sounds real legit.
Let me tell you about Guru Auto Sales.
Yeah.
This is a federal case, too. A Miami federal jury, a Miami federal jury. Oh, look, phones are ringing. Andrew, grab the calls, would you please? A Miami federal jury convicted Eric Haddad, 59, of Aventura. Nice shopping there, by the way. Of a federal carjacking charge. Prosecutors said that he operated Guru Auto Sales.
Yeah. He's no guru.
Yeah. But he was hit with federal carjacking charge back in October. Prosecutors said that he operated Guru Auto Sales. Oh, every line is ringing. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right. So he operated Guru Auto Sales on State Road 7 in Miramar with his sons. Google currently lists the dealership as permanently closed.
I mean, yeah.
Why? Authorities said that the Israeli national victimized 24-year-old Haitian immigrant who bought a 2020 Honda Accord from Guru in October 23. Prosecutors said that the victim was never given a copy of the sales paperwork, was not aware that an agreement between Guru and the finance company stipulated that if he was late on a payment within the first 2 months of the loan, then the finance company could demand the approximately $13,800 it paid for the loan back from the dealership. The victim's first payment bounced after he set up auto pay, according to investigators, setting up this chain of events that would lead to Haddad becoming a federal inmate. December 19, 2023, 5 days after getting a letter from the company telling Guru to buy back the $13,000, loan, Haddad staked out the victim's home in a BMW and followed him to Miami International Airport, where he worked.
Poor guy.
Prosecutors said that even though the victim was current on his account that day, the dealership was expressly told they couldn't repossess the car. They said when the victim reached a red light, Haddad, whom the victim had never met before, got out of his black BMW in the middle of the intersection, approached the victim's Honda, ripping off the temporary license tag and aggressively yelling at the victim to get out of the car. Middle of the intersection.
Oh.
Get out of the car!
Yeah, you can't do that, Haddad.
The victim was able to get away when the light turned green, but Haddad eventually caught up to the victim. At the Miami Tri-Rail station, authorities said that Haddad continued aggressively screaming for the victim to get out of the car! All right? Eventually flashing a holstered gun in his waistband, getting the man to surrender his keys. The victim, in shock, called what was then the Miami-Dade Police Department, whose officers then arrested Haddad initially on state charges and located a gun. The case later became federal as the Honda was, according to the federal indictment, transported, shipped, and received in interstate and foreign commerce. Haddad could have spent 15 years in prison in addition to his 8-year sentence. He'll spend 3 years on supervised release.
What a
Holy
moron.
crap. I mean, the car dealer that tries to repossess a car via a carjacking in the middle of an intersection. Holy crap. Look at the phones. I've got every line. Every single line. I asked the question, has anyone ever bought a car from one of those buy here, pay here lots where they put the device on the car that if you don't make your payment, they can disable your car? Let me grab Andrea in Bradenton up first. Andrea, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's the story? What do you have for us?
My story is kind of similar. I was at the airport, but I was in short-term parking and had gone on a trip to see my daughter. And when I came back, the car payment was due. I bought it at a Empire Auto Sales here in Bradenton.
Yeah.
And I got back the day after the payment was due and was just going to make it. I figured there was maybe a tiny grace period.
Yeah, listen, a grace period, sure.
Well, when I went to go to get my vehicle was gone. And I thought, I've got to be at the wrong parking space. Something's got to be wrong.
Oh, did they have a GPS tracker on your car?
They had a tracker on the car, and they just came and got it after I called the police, I reported it stolen, went through all of this stuff, never imagined that the dealership, I thought, I don't know, let me just call the dealership.
1 day late, and they repoed your car out of the parking lot at the airport?
Yes, at Tampa International Airport, and I live in Bradenton, and they went all the way. Yeah, so be careful of those people.
All right, did you get your car back?
No, as a matter of fact, they told me that there was going to be a $1,200 fee, and it was in my paperwork, apparently, that I didn't read, or I didn't imagine that they would do something. And the very same day, they had the car listed back up on their website for sale.
Holy crap. Did it F up your credit?
No, they never reported anything to my credit.
Yeah, they want to keep as low a profile as possible, a lot of these sketchy places.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listen. What?
Did she get her stuff out of the car?
Yeah, did you have stuff in the car? Good question, Fester.
Thankfully, I didn't have any personal belongings in the car, so I didn't have to worry.
You didn't have, like, your mom's ashes or something in the back seat? I'm sorry.
Bad, but I do have my mom's ashes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Andrea, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay because you make me laugh. Don't worry about it.
Andrea, and then, we've talked about, like, car theft at airports. There are, like, major car theft rings all over the country, and they're stealing cars from airport parking lots. We went to visit my mom and dad last weekend, and we did the economy parking. And I'm like, all right, Michelle, let's hope that the SUV's not stolen out of the parking garage at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's happened to Tampa. There are rings that are what was the story in Atlanta? Like $5 million in cars have been ripped off from parking lots at the Atlanta airport in the last couple of years. Andrea, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Man, look at the phones on this. Rosa in Tampa. Hi, Rosa. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. So my story, it was a few years ago, but I was actually separated from my husband at the time, but we had a very small child, and she is disabled. So we went to the pet store to get food and came out and went to start the car, and the car would not start. And she speaks, she's autistic, so she got scared and literally started screaming at passersby, help us, help us, help us. And it was so embarrassing. So I called her dad and was like, oh, my God, the car is not working. Like, this car that we make payments on is not working. And he's just like, hold on a minute. Let me call the car dealer because I'm a little late. And I'm like, what does that mean? So, he called him on three-way, and sure enough, they had turned the car off and left me and our child stranded at this pet store while she's screaming for help.
Wow. How late was the payment?
It was 3 days late.
Wow. And
Yeah.
they had the device to remotely shut off your car and leave you in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
And I had no idea.
All right. How quickly did you make the payment, and how quickly did it take them to turn the car back on?
He paid it right there, and the car was on within 10 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's literally just a flick of a switch.
Yeah. Rosa, thanks for the call. How's your daughter doing, by the way?
She's good. She's good. She's 18 now, so she's doing really good. But yeah, it was pretty embarrassing as she was screaming, "Help us!"
Help me, help me. All right, thank you, Rosa. Appreciate it. Tammy's in Bartow. Tammy, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. Good morning. I had a similar situation, but it was with my daughter. This is back in New York. She was, I think her payment was due at midnight, and she paid it the next morning. And while she's driving with my granddaughter, at the time she was a toddler, they shut the car off while she was on the road.
What?
What?
While she was driving?
While she was driving, so she had to pull over to the shoulder and called the car dealership and had to pay a $75 fee. And they turned the car on within like 3 minutes.
My God. Yes, my car stopped working. Oh, you're late on your payment. Hey, you're driving down the road, you got to pull out your credit card and make them, hey, my card is 3-2, you know. Oh, my God.
8 hours late.
That is 8 hours later, they shut off her car while she's driving down the road?
While she's driving.
Holy crap. All right, Tammy and Bartow, thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
I mean,
Have a great day.
you two, this is incredible. It's 6:40 in the morning. My phone's at 6:50 now, but let me grab one more here. Ron is in St. Pete. I don't want to get too late. Ron, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well, Ron. Apparently better than you at some point. Go ahead.
So this was back in 2000. I bought a truck from ABC Autos in Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. Oh, yeah. So I'm at a gas station with my girlfriend, and my truck won't start. So I call up the dealership, and they said, "Oh no, we didn't shut it off," but they had, because I was like a day late on my payment. So then a few weeks later,
Yep.
we went home for lunch, and they come and repoed my truck. I mean, I didn't even see them. So yeah, I've had experience with one of these things.
Yeah, man, they're a mess, and they put them on there, and you kind of forget they're on there, or you think you have a little more time.
Yep.
I've had a couple of friends. I've had one friend who, she called me, and she goes, "My car won't start." She called a mechanic. The mechanic looks at her engine, and he closes it after like 2 minutes. He goes, "Pay your bill. Pay your car note."
Can the mechanic just
He knew.
remove the
Yeah.
device? I would imagine that a mechanic can just take the device off. Or if you know what you're doing, can you just take the bypass or the device off the vehicle and get your car running again? I don't
It's
know.
like a beeper, and you don't know where it's at, and they can. All they have to do is dial the phone number, and they
Yeah.
can shut it down.
The mechanic looked at the car for a couple of seconds, and he's like, "Have you paid your car note?" And she's like, "No, I'm a little late."
Yeah, I guess mechanics know all that stuff, right? Hey, thank you, Ron. Appreciate the call. Hope you liked the video. If you did, then hit the like, share, subscribe, all this crap down here.